Hello dear friends. Today we'll be discussing about the small signal equivalent model. In the previous session we actually discussed about small signal operations. So here we'll discuss small signal equivalent model. The model is not asked anywhere in any of the video paper, but without the understanding of this we cannot proceed for the numericals and further sessions. So the basic thing, this is very much required. Now moving on to this, so here a FET, as we all know that a FET is a voltage controlled current source. It is going to accept the potential of VGS between the gate and the source, and then it is going to provide us the current. So let me write. So we mean to tell that a FET is going to behave as a voltage controlled current device. Voltage controlled current source. So what it is going to do is it is going to accept this VGS. So between the gate and the source. Okay, after accepting this, it is going to produce a current. So now I can write it as ID is equal to GM into VGS. Now input and output resistance are very high. Ideally we can tell that they are going to be infinite. So input and our output resistance are going to be high. That means that they are going to be ideally infinite. So now we have to write a circuit, the circuit small signal equivalent model. So in this model, only the diagram of the model is asked in one of the paper. So we have to know the diagram, but the explanation or the expressions is not asked. So it was just like draw the small signal equivalent model for a MOSFET. So that was the question asked. So let us focus on that. So it is like a MOSFET is a 3-terminal device again. So as a MOSFET is a 3-terminal device, what happens is gate, will mention the gate over here and the drain part over here, and that is the source part over here. So now how do we relate it? Always the current will flow from drain to the source, right? So current path I am including it over here, okay, which is nothing but GM into VGS will be the current flow. As we have got this in the previous session, we derived to this, and I am going to represent the same over here. Now this is our gate and drain. Now what is the potential that will be present between gate and source? It is nothing but obviously it will be VGS only. So that is what I am going to represent now. Now moving on to the exact model. What the previous model, when I tell, okay, we'll move on to exact model. But what this model tells us, that is small signal equivalent model. What actually the small signal equivalent model tells us that it assumes that your ID is going to be independent of VDS, okay, which is not actually true, because there will be a channel length modulation effect will be present. So because of that, the ID is not going to be independent of, ID is independent of VDS. This condition is going to be true. This condition is not going to be not true. So this is what will be given by our small signal equivalent model. Now what exact equivalent model tells you is that by finite resistance, let us take that as R0 between the drain and the source in parallel to the current controlled source. So by doing that in the typical order of like 10 kilo ohm to 100 kilo ohm will be doing it. So let us write the circuit. It is again simple. Keeping this as reference, you are just adding one resistance, that is R0 in parallel to GM and VGS. That is what I mean to tell. So now gate part drain part we have Gm into VGS, and this is a source. Potential appearing will be nothing but VGS, and here we are adding a resistance in parallel to this, and that resistance is nothing but your R0. So why are we doing this exact model? Is because here we got to know that input output resistance are going to be infinite. So in this case, if we do this, our resistances are going to be finite in value. So now how we can define this R0? R0 is nothing but usually how we define R. So V is equal to IR. So R is equal to V by I. Right? So the same logic holds good. So when I tell R0, it is your output resistance, and V. What is that? V here is nothing but it is VA. So we have discussed previously that there was some point VA which was nothing but it is 1 by lambda, which was equal to 1 by lambda. Again, that was nothing but it was a process technology parameter. It is some constant value divided by ID. So now what is our ID here? It is by default going to be the current equation in saturation region, which is given as 1 by 2 Kn dash W by L into VOV the whole square. So now let us see to the transconductance. So let us see what actually is the transconductance first. So what is transconductance? So it was something denoted by Gm. So our Gm was nothing but ID by VGS. This was our Gm value. So now in the previous session we got to know that there were some 3 ID currents, and the middle part of the ID current value was being just removed because of the distortion present. So, and we assume that that is going to be very small in order to remove that distortion. So the same concept is required here, wherein our ID value was something we assumed. This is from the previous session I am writing it, where our ID value was something like capital ID plus small ID. After removing the middle part, this is what we actually got. And then what is my small ID now? So this small ID will be nothing but it is from something like Kn dash W by L VGS minus VT into VGS. So go through the previous session for how we got this equation. So from this, what actually I need is Gm. So how do I get Gm? ID VGS. So I am going to do the same now. ID VGS is equal to Kn dash W by L into VGS minus VT. Okay. So, and we have actually discussed that there was something like a potential source and this part. So it is actually the combination of AC and the DC potentials. So that is nothing but that is the reason why we call it a small signal model. So now moving on further, so here this is nothing but our Gm. So now I can write that my Gm is nothing but Kn dash W by L into VGS minus VT. So this is what the expression I have for Gm. So now what conclusion I can give? So Gm here is proportional to Kn dash W by L. Now I want the transconductance to be larger. So for a larger transconductance, the device, what happens to the device? The device should be short and it has to be wide. So in order to have the higher transconductance, we can also tell that this Gm is proportional to VOV. That means this is again nothing but a VOV. So when we see in this equation, Gm is again proportional to VOV. So Gm is proportional to VOV. So we can actually draw to this conclusion. And in the next session, we'll be moving on to the T equivalent model. This is for today. Thank you.